Hi guys, so welcome back to my YouTube channel, and today we're gonna be watching Thor Love and Thunder, and like usual we're gonna give you guys a spoiler review, and then we're gonna stop by Jollibee to have some dinner, and hopefully you guys enjoy this video. Don't forget to give it a like, a share, and subscribe, and please be kind in the comment section.
Demonstrating the hard way, upgrade the word day, bar rate, the arcade. I fly watching the eyesight of night clocks, reposition the night clock.
Hello. So we're in Jollibee. We have enough time so we can eat.
It didn't take as long this time. It's 8 o'clock.
Well, don't jinx it.
What do you mean, jinx it? We already got the food. You just
Well,
tell
for
me.
other people, here's the spaghetti. Here's my adobo rice, spicy fried chicken, mango pie. Well, show them what it looks like on the
I'm
inside.
showing the red thing first. That's fine.
Here's some gravy.
Oh, you flipped too hard, damn it!
So we just finished watching Thor Love and Thunder, and it's amazing. Hi guys, so welcome back, and we are gonna give you guys a spoiler review for Thor Love and Thunder. So here's what I think of it. I like it. I enjoy the movie. It's really funny.
Yeah, I also really liked it. Before we get into spoilers, I would say if you saw Thor Ragnarok and you didn't like it, you're probably not gonna like this movie because it's the same director as Thor Ragnarok, and it's more of the same kind of energy and humor and stuff like that. I would argue it does do some things a little bit better than some of the things that were criticisms of Thor Ragnarok that I kind of agreed with, even though I really do like that film. But yeah, overall, I really enjoyed this movie, and I'm kind of a little bit puzzled more about like the reception. It seems like the reception is a little bit more mixed, maybe. So it's kind of hard to gauge how much of that is just
because of some things, probably some elements they put in this movie. That's why. But overall, like the story, I like the way they make the villains in all the MCU movies now. Like they're not just bad. Like there's a reason why they're like that. Like you can, how can I say? You can feel for this character even though they're doing something bad. You know what I'm saying? Especially like what's his name again? Christian Bale.
Gore, the God Butcher.
The God Butcher. Like I understand why he started killing gods, cause.
Yeah, and I think that like I haven't really gone looking into too much of what people are saying, but I do think that might be one reason that some people are not happy with this film, and that it doesn't I would say it's not really a faithful adaptation of the comic book. And Gore's like had a big recent, well, some semi-recent storyline where he was introduced, and
they need to
that
cut it
people
some
know
slack,
about. And I have to say, really, for me, Gore was probably not my favorite element of this film. Like I think it was passable, but in no way, shape, or form would I say Christian Bale as Gore was the best Marvel villain. It was just okay, and that's one thing. Like I haven't. I think probably a lot of comic book fans are disappointed with. Like he wasn't sort of the big villain he is in the comic books.
Well, we can't rely on like comics for everything.
Yeah, but like in general, like
you need to understand, they need to adjust it to like the the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Well, and it's specifically like going in, it should have been kind of obvious that this isn't going to be the epic showdown between Thor and Gore, the God Butcher, that you got in the comic books, because this is a Taika Waititi film.
Yeah.
So I think the film really does a good job of keeping the focus on Thor. And I know that's one of the things probably fans were worried about with Jane Foster coming in as the mighty Thor. That there were a lot of fears that Thor was going to be replaced. Yes, we're seeing a lot of characters kind of get their replacements in the MCU, with the Sam Wilson becoming Captain America. You have a new Black Widow, and so
their contracts.
Spoilers. Jane Thor is not sticking. Not Jane Thor. Jane Foster is not sticking around as Thor. And I think, of course, comic books being what they are, you could always say, well, technically they could always bring her back if they really wanted to.
Yeah.
But I think this movie does make sort of a definitive, like, Jane is dead, and that story's done now.
You really think so?
Yeah, she's in Valhalla. That's being dead. I mean, like I said, comic books being what they are, technically you can still have characters coming back from the dead, but...
Remember what I told you last night? Or what I told you? Like, they're not gonna show Valhalla if it's not gonna be part of, like, the future movies.
So I don't necessarily think that's true, but like I said, it is always possible. The other reason I think that you're not going to see her back is because it's Natalie Portman. And I think she agreed to come back for this film because there was really more of a role for Jane Foster, but I don't know if she would agree to come back for another one.
Well, it's all about money at the end of the day.
So, I mean, I think it's possible, but I think definitely it's not in the plans right now, is my thinking.
Yeah, it can always change. But yeah, I enjoy like the story. And like I remember like in my past videos and like spoiler reviews for like MCU movies, like I was wondering like, oh, how is this gonna fit into like this storyline and that storyline, and now it's starting to make sense, especially when they went to this city. What's the name of that city with all the gods?
Something like Omnipotentopia or Omnipotent City,
something like that. But yeah, they went to this city, and then I saw like other gods, and then I was joking to him because I remember watching Moon Knight, and I was wondering like, okay, how is this gonna tie into like the MCU universe? And like, okay, it's starting to make sense now. Like the gods know each other.
Yeah,
and then the Celestials are there too. What the?
Yeah, I saw people wondering like, so like would Khonshu go there or something like that? Which I don't think Khonshu would have anything to do with those people. And it did seem to imply that at least when it comes to the Egyptian deities, most of them are in some other dimension. Like where they talked about Moon Knight. So it does seem like there isn't necessarily a lot of cohesion when it comes to the overall MCU. But I mean, that's been the case from the very beginning. I would argue with the people who are saying like, oh, phase 4 is so like scatters. Like, no, if you go back to earlier phases, it was just as scattered. You just didn't have as much going on.
Well, like it's starting to make sense to me now, especially when they went to like this omnipotent city. I think that's how you call it. I call it Mount Olympus because Zeus is there.
That's one thing I didn't realize going in, at least from the trailers. I thought it was going to be like the Mount Olympus equivalent. And no, it was like a more gathering of all these gods.
Yeah, I didn't know Zeus was MCU. I was telling it to him.
Now, also, I was a little surprised Gore didn't show up and like kill everyone. Because that's what I was expecting, but it turned out like no, they were pretty much safe there, at least unless
because they said
Gore got to eternity and wished them all away.
Yeah, they said it themselves. He don't know how to go there. Only gods know how to go there. That's why. And yeah, since you mention it, like it's the first time I saw a glimpse of eternity.
And I think like one of the things like I think fans are too much caught on with Gore is that like I saw a lot of people saying that they didn't see enough. Like they wanted to see more Gore actually, killing gods.
Yeah, well, which I get that part.
I do feel like the movie could have been a little bit longer. Like I know like from the runtime, it's one of the shortest Marvel movies. Yeah, and I feel like it didn't have to be. I do feel like the pacing was really well done, but I even as I was watching the very beginning of the movie, like once they get past like to the Marvel Studios logo after the sort of the prologue with Gore the Butcher, I already thought like that could have easily been like 5 more minutes, giving some more background on Gore before jumping in. And it does seem like there are a lot of cut stuff because. It seems like there was, I can't remember the actress's name, but there was like an actress, like a big time actress who slipping my mind, who was cast and filmed stuff for this movie, and they cut her out completely.
They're probably gonna add it into like other MCU movies.
No, probably not. Not if it's Gore the God Butcher stuff. And I mean, one thing the MCU has done well from the beginning is keeping focus on the actual heroes. They've always had an issue with like kind of whether you're focusing on the hero versus the villain, which I think some people coming from like fans sort of prefer more of a focus on the villain or building up the villain to be this huge threat. Whereas a lot of the Marvel movies tend to focus more on the hero and trying to make the hero's journey more interesting, which I think this film does really well. Like the one thing criticism I don't really understand is people saying like that Thor is too jovial. Where like I thought this movie made it pretty obvious that he's hiding his pain. He doesn't go around just weeping and crying all the time. So I don't understand why people would want that. I mean, not only do we actually, you do see him weep a little bit in that sort of montage of scenes at the beginning, but Thor does have this sort of, has the conversation with Star-Lord, and then he has a conversation with Jane later on that makes it pretty obvious about how he's feeling, or how he's feeling lost. But then he's come to the conclusion that he doesn't want to just close himself off anymore.
Well, that's the thing. Fans think they know everything. And like I'm trying to make it clear to you, like they're trying to adjust it to like the MCU timeline as well. And I like it, especially the way Christian Bale portrayed Gore the God Butcher, and like his pain, the pain he's going through. I understand that. Like I wish, what's the name of this character they killed from the very beginning? The villain who owns the Necro Sword.
I don't know. Like because you don't even see who like had the Necro Sword. It was just maybe they mentioned a name. I don't know.
That's the thing. I was expecting to see actions from that. Like they're fighting that villain, I guess. But they show how Christian Bale got, the sword itself. Is it the same sword? What's the name of that guy again from Game of Thrones? Jon Snow?
No.
Is it the same sword or not?
No. What? No.
I don't know. I'm asking you.
It has nothing to do with Game of Thrones.
No, not.
You said Jon Snow. Oh, that sword?
Yeah. That sword from the Eternals.
No, I don't think so.
You jumped into conclusions right away. That sword from the Eternals I'm talking about, who played by Jon Snow. I don't know his name. Is it the same sword? Is it forged by Chiton?
I don't think so.
In
the comic
those are
books,
the questions I have right
the
now.
The Necro Sword, they later made it part of the sort of Venom, the symbiote storyline. I don't know if that's going to happen. They already destroyed it. So,
but it's not this. Well, so I'm guessing it's not the same sword from the Eternals, right?
No, that's a completely different sword, as far as I know.
Or they're from the same universe, I guess. I don't know. I mean, universe, the same dimension, the same realm. You think so?
I don't know.
They look like they're
just
powered by
swords.
evil. They look like they're powered by evil, especially the Darkhold. I feel like it's from the same dimension. I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't. Well, like one thing, at least I would say with Phase 4, it doesn't seem like they're too concerned with trying to connect things anymore. They're just allowing things to be kind of separate, which I think is one of the things fans are not necessarily happy, because they keep looking for like, how is this connecting to the overall story of the MCU, and they're like asking, why isn't there an overall story every single movie? And it right now there just isn't.
Well, for now, yeah. Probably in the future they're gonna go back to it.
I mean, to be fair, I think a lot of fans are forgetting about what earlier movies were like. Look at Phase 2. The Avengers happen, and then you have Iron Man 3, Captain America, Winter Soldier, Thor: The Dark World. None of those movies connected, and it was always, the question was like, well, how is any of this? And then you got Age of Ultron, which didn't even tie things together at all. Sure, it was teasing sort of the Infinity storyline, but a lot of people felt like it wasn't really going there anywhere with that. And I think a lot of fans are just conveniently forgetting about the things in the past that they didn't like. And so they're saying, well, Phase 4 is just completely gone crazy. I do feel like, because there is so much more in Phase 4 with the TV shows and everything, there is more sort of room for disappointments, and for people to get sort of not as excited about things.
So what do you think of the character of this kid? What's the name of this kid again? Christian Bale's daughter in the story?
I don't remember the name of the kid, or if I don't know if it was even said in the movie.
Because you said it yourself, it's Chris Hemsworth's real-life daughter.
Yeah, that's what I read on Reddit.
That's what. And what do you think is her role in this? Because I'm pretty sure they didn't bring things up if they're not going to use it in the future. Like Valhalla. They brought up Valhalla for some reason.
Just because it's in the movie doesn't mean that it's going
You'll
to be
never know.
in the
You'll
next
never
movie.
know.
Well, no. I mean, obviously, the part of it is part of Thor's story. That's where it ends off with him sort of having this adopted daughter now.
Remember,
The question of like how she'll be used in a future movie, I don't know. I mean, there are like several possibilities. They could always, because I mean, the character's not human, so they could always age the character up. Even if not enough time has passed by, you could always say, well, you know, she's an alien species, or she's got like eternity magic in her. So who knows? They could always say something happened, and now she's
probably the future embodiment of eternity.
No, I don't think so.
You'll never know. You'll never.
Eternity's still there. It didn't get destroyed or anything.
She didn't get destroyed. Like, she's not moving in this thing. She looked like a statue in this thing, in this movie. But I feel like maybe this kid is gonna be like the future, you know, avatar for eternity. She's not gonna die. She's eternity.
No, I feel like more like she just got powers because, you know, she came from eternity. She was like remade or whatever, brought back to life.
And remember, I was asking you as well, do you think America Chavez can travel to Valhalla? It's a different universe, I guess.
Yeah, well, like that it doesn't go into like what exactly Valhalla is.
Because you said it yourself, it's the afterlife. But what if it's another dimension? Like the Celestial says, the universe is a constant flow of energy. And all of that, all about cosmology.
So how did you feel about the mighty Thor, Jane Foster?
Like I'm okay with it because I feel like she mastered like the power right away. But to give them credit as well, because she's dying of cancer in the story, and like Thor whispers something on Mjolnir, like the hammer itself, or like protect her with all your life and all of that. So like basically it called into her. Mjolnir called into her. Remember that?
Well, Thor, when he said that to Mjolnir, that was after.
No, like before, when they were dating. I was there in the movie theater with you. When they were dating, and like he was so happy. Like he doesn't have the hammer or the axe yet.
Yeah, I think I know the part you're talking about.
And then protect her with your life, and now she's dying of cancer, and like, okay, she's able to use it, but like she knows how to wield it right away.
Yeah, and I think it is a little unclear, like when things necessarily took place. I think you could argue that some of those things were not necessarily taking place right one after another, but I mean.
But yeah,
because it did seem like she had been at the Mighty Thor for a little bit longer than what could necessarily be implied. But you don't know how long Thor was like traveling around with the Guardians either. You know, you could see it if you're thinking of just one scene after the another, and like everything is in constant, you know, taking place chronologically one after another. It would seem like Thor, like that opening scene, and then maybe the next day, and then, you know, then he's going to
months after
to
or
Earth.
years
But
after,
like the Jane Foster things with her in the hospital didn't necessarily have to be right then. That could have been earlier or whatever. Like it kind of depends on how you view the film and think about it. If you think, oh, the films have to be chronological unless the film tells you, then it is a little fast.
Yeah, but that's the reason why she's wielding Mjolnir, because she thought it's gonna be the cure to her cancer, but it turns out it's not.
Yeah,
it's draining her life force because, you know, it's Mjolnir, and she's not. Well, from the beginning she's not a god, but in the story she ended up dying as a god. Because like I noticed, like all the gods when they die, they glow, they release gold or something, some kind of gold dust or something. So like when I saw her die, like, oh, she's a god now because she glows in gold. It's crazy. Because I think even Khonshu and like Amethyst die like that, right? They have gold dust in their system.
I don't remember.
But yeah, that's the reason why, like when she went to Valhalla, Like, okay, this is gonna be part of the future movies, that's for sure.
It's not.
I wish. They need to. I want to see other gods as well.
Anything else you want to talk about the film?
Nothing much. I recommend it to like each and every one of you guys to like watch it. Especially if you guys want to see God Bod. Thor's God Bod. It's amazing. I wish I could have a God Bod like that. So, Thor Love and Thunder, what do you guys think? Jump down in the comment section below if we missed anything. And don't forget to give this video a like, a share, and subscribe. And please be kind in the comment section. And I'll see you guys in my future video. Bye.